They call me the agent of CIA, the agent of MI6. They even call me the agent of Mossad as well. I don't know how come at the same
You're at
time
an ADL
I
summit.
work for different agents around the world.
Para que se asustan será pa' mejor. Es el pueblo entero el que ya está gritando. ¡Viva la revolución!
Iranian nuclear weapons development.
They have turned the island into a communist hellhole.
The experiment in Venezuela has failed completely.
The other thing that they really control well is color revolutions. I think color revolutions in particular are a Zionist like hallmark. Like that is their shit. Like that is their, going back even to the Rothschild family, where you have the Rothschilds funding both sides of a war to profit from it, right? Funding the French and Napoleon, and funding also the British, and making money from both sides. And I feel like in many ways, this happens so much all over the world, where even they'll have certain anti-war groups that have Zionists in them, right? But then you look at their talking points, and it's like, oh, I support the feminist protests in Iran. You know, I'm pro-Cuba and I'm pro-Venezuela, but I'm against Iran, and they create this wedge in our movements. I'm like, hold up, like I spot them a mile away, you know. And it's exactly. Yeah. So it's like
I'm all too familiar with them.
Yes, I call it code pink imperialism.
AYEA, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a real shame, dude. And a lot of people don't really see it. So I just want to play a clip. This is one of the quote unquote feminists that the Iranian feminists that mainstream media is upholding as a revolutionary, as a leftist. She was at the Zionist, the ADL Virtual National Summit earlier this year before the quote unquote uprising. I just want to play a little bit of what she said. It's just really disgusting. This is for the ADL, fuck the ADL, one of the Zionist entities that uses this whole anti-Semitism bullshit to cancel people. So I'm going to play this, and then we'll talk a little bit about that.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Masih Ali Nejad. I'm an Iranian American journalist, a TV presenter, author, women's rights activist, and a troublemaker for the oppressors in Iran. Actually, the oppressors have different names for me. They call me the agent of CIA, the agent of MI6. They even call me the agent of Mossad as well. I don't know how come at the same
You're at
time
an ADL
I
summit.
work for different agents around the world. And I want to actually thank the ADL for giving me such an opportunity to come here and tell you about the women in Iran who become like the biggest nightmare of the clerics in the Islamic Republic. But before telling you about my story, I want to tell you that the Iranian regime for years and years telling these mothers, women, students, children that our biggest enemy is America. As you know, of course, Israel as well. I grew up in a tiny village, was brainwashed to say death to America, death to Israel. But after years and years, those mothers, women, children, students, I myself, we know that our biggest enemy is the Islamic Republic.
Oh my God.
So when I left Iran, I launched a campaign. First, I started to share my own story, that how I was brainwashed myself. Then my story encouraged many other women within the society. I launched a campaign against forced hijab. As you see, I have too much hair. So I was forced to cover them all. When I shared a picture of myself without hijab, I got bombarded by women within the society, sharing their photos and videos unveiled. Don't get me wrong. We are not fighting against a small piece of cloth. For us, hijab is one of the most pillar of a religious dictatorship. For us, hijab,
Dude, she's reading
in
from
the
a
hand of
fucking
the regime,
speech too. Like you
is
see
like
her
the
turning the
Berlin
page
Wall.
on the.
So that is why many women within the society, they started to join the campaign because they want to get rid of the religious dictatorship. For us, compulsory hijab is the most visible symbol of oppression. As you see, women in Afghanistan or women who were suffering ISIS, from the first time when they get free, they burn their forced veil. For more than 40 years, the Islamic Republic of Iran stamped its own ideology on our bodies. When you go to Iran or Afghanistan, when you see women under the control of Taliban, ISIS, Islamic Republic, you understand that we are forced to carry the ideology of religious dictatorship. So our campaign is about to be our true self, to be the one that we want to be. It's about our dignity. But how ironic that many Western feminists around the world, our sisters, they keep silent because they think that if we talk against compulsory hijab, we talk against the brutality of Sharia laws, then we're causing Islamophobia. And I'm here to tell you that as a woman who grew up under forced hijab, who grew up under control of Islamic Republic, that we don't have freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, I am scared of Islamic Republic. I am scared of Taliban, and I am scared of ISIS.
So she compared Iran to the Taliban and ISIS. Just complete nonsense. Shout out to Comrade Salifu. Ramiro, this is torture. My fault. No, we got to explore. Here's the thing. Like, this is what majority of people are saying, like, especially with this Iran stuff. Like, and this is all, like, again, she's talking to the ADL, one of the Zionist organizations. Like, these are Israeli Mossad talking points. And now the entire Western left is repeating it. Like, they have us under a fucking lull and a trance. Even quote unquote leftist groups, revolutionary groups, anti-imperialists, they're like, it's complicated. It's like some Norman Finkelstein shit. It's complicated. No, like I'm in solidarity with Iran against Western imperialism, and that's it. And it's like, like, what are your thoughts on the whole Iran stuff and the role of Israel?
Well, I think she looks familiar. I think I seen her like in some CIA post or something.
Probably, yeah,
probably. But she's like, no, these are these like fugazi feminists, like, these, because like these Zionists pushed the color revolution. They were pushing Arab Spring, they were pushing Euromaidan. Now they're pushing the shit in Iran, and it's like now all these like Western, like, Portland State, Reed College, like G.I. Jane looking people, like, yeah,
blue hairs.
I remember when you showed, what was it, the color revolution, and you had the picture of that one G.I. Jane woman.
Yeah,
like, yo, that shit was a mind trip. Like, I was like, yo, like people in Iran have, like, women have had freedom in Iran since like 1979. Like,
right.
Like, people in Iran have had freedom since they overthrew the Shah and the Pahlavis and all that. Like, like, women wear hijab. Yeah, women are religious, but it's not like women weren't, having rights, weren't getting short haircuts. Like, they were before that. And there is evidence on Instagram. There's evidence on Facebook of that. Like this is the Zionists pushing, their agenda. And they're this is the mind trip they want the Americans to believe in. They want the Americans to back this color revolution, and Austrians and Germans, and I've had countless interactions with Westerners and even Iranians living in the West believe in this mind trip. And it's like, yo, bro, like, it's kind of obvious to see through it,
Yeah, no, I mean, it's obvious to us, right? But unfortunately, to a lot of liberals, this is the problem with postmodernism, that they, everything, truth is, it's not the truth, it's your truth. What's my truth? It's like, I feel, how do you feel? I feel, it's like all this nonsense. It's like, as people, on the left, as socialists or whatever, like anti-imperialists, like, we believe in an objective reality and an objective truth. And it's not like based on just individual subjective testimony. And that's a problem because so much of the Western left is influenced by individual testimonies. Like, well, I know this one lady who did it, you know, where I know this one guy who did it. It's like, how, you know, we're basing it off of that and off of like objective facts, which is that Iran is being attacked by Israel, the US, the UK, and they are salivating at the mouth of overthrowing Iran, of enslaving the pop. They want Iran to be drugged up. They want Iran to be on OnlyFans. They want Iran to be distracted, listening to fucking dumbass fucking mumble rappers, buying fucking like $300 Balenciaga shirts, hunched over their phones, watching OnlyFans, drunk and on drugs and distracted. And you know, it's just like that's what they want. And Iran is not like that. Like I know plenty of people in Iran. They know 4 languages. They know philosophy and arts. They know science. You know, like they are an advanced civilization, and people are just so dumb in the West where they're like, oh, they wear a headscarf, so they're backward and they're dumb, and we need to go in and save them. It's like, you need to save yourself. We need to save. Look at what's going on here. You know,
I mean, look at TikTok. You have all this like thirst trapping, all these trendy ass wannabe trendy Zoomers, like listening to terrible music, thirst trapping, like doing these weird ass dances, trying to be goofy and trendy and stuff. And you know, and then in Iran, you have people following the deen, you know, speaking, like you said, speaking multiple languages. They'll know Farsi, they'll know whatever regional languages, whether that, you know, is Azeri or another regional language like Mandazari, Gelaki, like that, Luri, like those regional languages, or they might know like an international language like Spanish, German, Portuguese, English, Italian as well, French maybe. But and they're a million times smarter than Americans. Like the Zionists are trying to dumb down Americans.